referee's whistle. You have 10 laps. Go on the chief referee's whistle.
Welcome back to another race recap. This time Floyd Bennett Field. First race of the year at Floyd Bennett Field. As most of you guys know, we almost lost the venue, but thanks for a few guys behind the scenes, Charlie, other people that chipped in, we managed to save one race series, and that's the iWheel Foundation series at Tuesday's night, which is a classic race that running for many years. And this race was sold out completely at category 3-4, and we're talking about 100 people at that field right now. It was extremely fast. People were really motivated. So we'll take you through it and I'll show you the highlights of the race. Alright, so fast forward a little bit. We are about 17-18 minutes into the race here. If you're looking at the duration on the bottom left there, that's including me standing on the line for about 2 minutes. So about 18 minutes right now to the race. And they slowed us down because we caught up with the women's race right before the end of their race, so they had to slow us down. Now the bummer part about it, there were like 4 guys in the front working on a breakaway for about a lap, and they actually had a little gap, and this slowing down basically shut them down and brought everything together. So that was really a bummer for them, at least. I didn't even think about a breakaway at the first half of the race. It was way too fast, and I knew that a breakaway would not stick at that speed. Alright, so the dangerous move actually came about 2 laps after. We are now about 28 minutes into the race, halfway there, and as you can see, I saw like 4 guys in the front, and I knew the guys, I knew they're strong, and I needed to bridge to them, but I didn't want to take anybody with me. Now, luckily, this Casino guy came from my left and basically gave me a launch pad for the bridge attempt. Now, you can see up in the distance, there's like 4 guys up ahead, and that's me basically trying to bridge to them without taking anybody with me. So I'm basically sprinting from the group here, from the front, putting, as you can see before that, like about 1100 watts. Getting into the 5th guy that was getting dropped here, basically leapfrogging him, and making it to the front group. So I made it to the front group here, and we actually had a small gap. And let's see from the rear camera what it looked like, bridging into the front group here. Alright, so that's a rear camera look at the same bridge. And here we coming to the right corner. I'm coming from the left, which wasn't ideal, but hey, I grabbed the Casino guy's wheel. You can see it on the shadow here. He took me all the way to the front, which was perfect, and then I launched my attack and trying to bridge to the front group. And I didn't want to take obviously anybody else with me. I didn't want to bring the entire group. I wanted to make sure that if I'm making it to the front group, it will maybe be a successful breakaway of 5, and I don't want to bring anybody else with me. So that was a very hard effort on my part, and a very big match that I had to burn. Alright, so as you can see in the shadows on road here, I caught up with the front group, and we have about, 3-second gap on the road only. Alright, so back to the front camera, and that's me taking a breather here for just a split second. I wanted to come to the front and push really hard, make sure the breakaway will succeed, but I'll be honest with you guys, I was basically on my limit here. I was gassed from this move. It was really hard effort, and Yechiel here on the front, the winner of the race by the way, kept pushing, and I was just suffering at that point here after that bridge attempt. So same corner again, rear camera. You can see we had a little gap, very little gap here. I'm about 3rd wheel here. Problem is we went into that right turn and it became a tailwind, which brought everybody together. But I was still in front. I was about 3rd wheel here, suffering. But I didn't want this move to go to waste, so I did come to the front and I tried as hard as I can to keep it going. Back to the front camera here, and this is Yechiel in the front. A strong kid here. He was the winner of the race, by the way. Very strong kid, and that's me getting gapped here. At that point, I was still hoping this, this move didn't just, go to waste. And I'm looking back, and I see there's a long line here. I told myself, okay, I gotta keep on pushing, and getting into the aero position here, and going almost to 46 kilometers an hour, 47 kilometers an hour at 400 watts. Again, keeping that effort, trying to break the field, but a tailwind, it didn't really succeed. And when I saw there's, the whole group is basically behind me, I shut it down right away. So that's the bummer part of getting caught. You're going from the aggressor, the one that basically initiating or trying to get a breakaway going and going as fast and as hard as you can, to a survival mode. The group catches you. All of a sudden, everybody going so much faster. They're like about 5-6 miles an hour faster than you, and you're just hoping to get to the back of the group and just recover, which that's exactly what I did. So as you just heard, that was the bell lap. That means 1 lap to go. This is about 15 minutes after the attack that I just had earlier, and I'm still feeling it at my legs at that point. Now, I'm still contemplating here, what should I do? Should I fight for a position and get to the front and try to attack at the end of the race, or get into a sprint position? Or should I just take a back seat and go to the back, play it safe, just end the race? Just to remind you, or for some of you that following my videos, you probably know that about 2.5 weeks ago, at that same point almost, I crashed all by myself at Floyd Bennett Field. So it's still fresh in my memory, and I'm kind of nervous, and things are sketchy in the race here. At the end of the race, everybody want to be in the front, everybody fighting for position. There were a lot of few close calls here, so I'm still contemplating. Okay, so at that point, as you can see, I'm all the way in the back. I knew that realistically I almost had no chance of placing well in the race. I was just hoping to finish, with the bunch and safe. You see things are slowing down all of a sudden and accelerating. This is very typical for category 3-4, and it is very dangerous. And as you can see, people are surging all over. And I was just trying to play it safe and just following wheels from the back. I thought at that point that I had no chance of placing well. Alright, so from all the way in the back, we are heading into a right turn here, which means a headwind. And I knew at that point that my race is basically over. There was no way getting into a headwind all the way from the back that I can move to the front. There's just no way. So at that point, I'm still playing the safe card. I'm just letting everybody go. As you can see, I'm having even I left a little gap to the guys in front of me, making sure there's space to my left. So if God forbid something does happen in the front, I have enough time to avoid it. And things slow down a little bit, and I'm starting thinking here, you know what? The way I saw it, there's 2 things I can do. I can either play the safe card, be all the way in the back, or I can go on a Hail Mary crazy attack and go from the left of the field, meet the wind, because the wind will come on that right turn right now here, left to right, and try to attack the entire field all the way from the back, which is really a suicidal mission. As you can see, I'm pushing 500 watts. As soon as I met that wind, I got into the group again, and again I was all the way in the back, and I'm telling, okay, that's just not gonna happen. So I'm saving my energy here and just playing it safe and telling myself, I'm still contemplating and then it slowed down right about here. Here, everybody slowed down. There was almost a crash here, and I told myself, you know what, I'm just going for it. And I was looking for a way on the left. This guy attacked, and I went all in right here. I threw my Hail Mary. I pushed 1,000 watts for almost forever. And look how long did it take me to go all the way from the left just to the guys in the front here. It was about 10 seconds, 20 seconds of all-out attack, and I did get a little gap here. So let's see it from the rear camera. So that's the rear camera view of that attack going into that right turn. As you can see, I'm almost all the way in the back. I'm still thinking, what should I do here? Should I go with my crazy move, which probably not going to get me anywhere? But it did slow down, as I said. So you'll see it slowing down just about now. And I realized, okay, I have to go now. If I want to do it, I'm going now. I saw that little opening on the left here, which is on the right side of the corner, and I pushed as hard as I can from here. So the cool thing about it, you're catching people by surprise here. You see you passing them very quickly because they're not ready for anybody coming all the way from the back. And here the guys in the front, realizing it, started chasing me, and there was actually a crash in the front here. Okay, so let's take it from a different angle. We are in the front right now from Eric's camera. And I'm going to come all the way from the left, and Yechiel will realize it, and you'll see me on the attack going really fast, faster than anybody else, and everybody in the front here realizing that's the move, and they started chasing. Now let's slow down here. I don't know if you can see it on the right side of the picture. Carl, the sprinter, realizing it just as everybody else in the front and started sprinting here. Now for whatever reason, he lost his front wheel here and crashed to the floor, unfortunately. And that takes at least 2 or 3 guys, maybe even 4 guys behind him with a big crash. Everybody going around, which slows things down, and that, in hindsight, helping me to get a gap going. But there are still guys in the front that avoided the crash and are still chasing me. Back to the front camera, and this is me going as hard as I can at that point, heading into that last turn, into the straightaway, not realize what just happened behind me. And heading into a tailwind, and I didn't even know how much I have behind me, what gap I have behind me, and I started sprinting at that point. So back to the rear camera, to the same corner, and you can see the gap I had at that point, and heading into the right turn, and the guys in the front are catching me, and I'm not realizing it yet, and I'm going as hard as I can. And once Yechiel, the winner of the race, actually caught me, I thought that was the entire group, so I actually stopped working here. I thought everybody caught me. When I realized I still have a gap to the rest of the group, probably because of the crash, I started working again. So let's take it to the front again. You can hear me actually coasting here and realizing, okay, I still have a gap and I can still place okay, just keep on pushing. I pushed as hard as I can at that point. Now this poor guy on my right here that I'm passing had a flat tire at the end of the race. How bummer is that? Anyway, I'm pushing almost 400 watts, and I'm telling you, I'm feeling every watt of it. This one guy came from my right. As you can see, I'm almost coasting because I didn't have anything. Nicked me on the line for 5th, and I got 6th. Alright, so back to Eric's camera, and he's doing the right turn here. And as you can see, everything is split, I guess, because of that crash. I'm still in the front at that point, and here's the front group catching me. And mind you, because of the tailwind, there will be almost no way anybody else would catch me, because to close that little gap on the road on a tailwind would be very, very difficult. So my attack basically forced everybody else to start sprint really, really early. So as you can see, people are sprinting all the way from the corner, and that me dying there in the front, and just managed to secure 6th place. I guess Eric got here something like about 15th or so, 12th or so, and I guess my attack really got me a good place at the end of the day. And that's the end of the race from the rear camera. As you can see, I had a little gap here on everybody else, on the rest of the field really. There was only one guy that managed to pass me on the left here, and you can see everybody sprinting to the line. He nipped me for 5th place, so I got 6th, and that was the end of the race. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.